Hello again, Massive Nerd fans, and welcome to the Comic of the Week for February 4th, 2011. Now, this week was fairly interesting. There wasn't a whole lot to choose from, so there really wasn't anything that stood out amongst the pack. There were a couple that I thought were really good, but nothing that really became great. Everything just kind of had something holding it back from really being the Comic of the Week. So instead of picking one comic this week, I've decided to go with the first Grab Bag Week. These are three comics that I felt were pretty darn good, just none really set itself apart from the others. So we're going to start off with our first Grab Bag comic, and that is Invincible Iron Man number 500.1 by Matt Fraction and Salvador LaRocca. Now, the whole point one deal is Marvel is putting out issues in between their other issues. Issue 500.1 is between issue 500 and issue 501. And they're intended to be good jumping on points for new readers. This is the first of the point one initiative, and we're still seeing how things are working out here. Now, this comic was fantastically written. It tells the story of Tony Stark at an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, where he's recounting his origin story as part of sharing his life with the other members there. However, he's still trying to maintain his anonymity. And it's really interesting. We get a lot of great introspection into Tony Stark's character, everything from when he was a child all the way up to more recent events. And it was just really, really well written. I really enjoyed this issue. Unfortunately, since Tony couldn't get into any of the details of his past, it kind of negates the whole starting point for a new reader. As well written as this issue was, it really didn't add anything for existing fans, and if you had read this issue, picking up issue 501 is still going to be a bit of a daunting task if you don't know what's been going on. So, again, a very well written issue. Just as part of the point one initiative, I think it failed here. The second Grab Bag comic is Secret 6 number 30 by Gail, Simone, and Jim Calafiore. Now, the Secret 6 has been one of DC's sleeper hits over the last couple years. One of the few DC titles I've been reading and enjoying consistently, up there with, let's say, Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. Now, what the Secret Six are is they're a group of supervillain mercenaries. Sometimes they're helping out the good guys, sometimes they're not. And in this storyline, they have been hired by a criminal organization to capture Oolong Island. The organization wants the island for their secret base, so they send in the Secret Six, or, well, in this case, the Secret Eight. They're still kind of coming to terms with that whole team deal, to capture the island for their organization. Unfortunately, the island is currently inhabited by the Doom Patrol, which leads to a great fight between the two groups. Lots of good action, some fun characters, absolute hilarity ensues with the banter in between. This was a great fight scene issue on its own. However, it also had two little side stories. First of all, his friends are trying to set Bane up on a date. Well, when Bane's in Bane mode, he's in absolute control. However, once he takes that mask off, there are certain parts of social life that kind of elude the big man. Good, funny stuff there. And then we also get the origin story of this new criminal organization they're coming up with. Kind of a Millar-esque story there, like Wanted and stuff. Fun stuff. A nice little side to the big action that takes up most of the issue. Unfortunately, the fight scene doesn't end. It has a cliffhanger, and it's going to be continued in Doom Patrol number 19 coming up in a couple weeks. So again, on its own, the issue was really good. However, it has a cliffhanger tying into another comic, which I don't know about. I've never really cared for the Doom Patrol. A lot of longtime DC fans love the characters. Honestly, I don't know anything about them outside of what I got from the Teen Titans animated series. So, while I might want to pick up issue 19 of Doom Patrol just to see the second half of the Secret Six story, I'm certainly not going to keep buying it after that. So, it just bugs me when comics do that. I understand the point of it. Doom Patrol fans might be interested in Secret Six, and vice versa. I'm just not a fan of that practice. And the final Grab Bag comic for this week is Ultimate Thor number 4 by Jonathan Hickman and Carlos Pacheco. And yes, I'm fairly certain I horribly mispronounced that name. And it's the final part of a miniseries detailing the origin story of the Ultimate Universe version of Thor. Again, really well written. Obviously, if you caught last week's recommendation of Fantastic Four, you know I love Jonathan Hickman's writing, and he's rapidly making me a bit of a fanboy between this, Fantastic Four, and Secret Warriors. In the previous issues, we saw Loki leading an assault on Asgard alongside a bunch of Nazis during World War II. Yeah, it's the Ultimate Universe. Just go with it. And it led to the destruction of Asgard, the death of all the gods, and essentially Ragnarok. This issue finally gets to the point of who exactly is Thor. We found out that Thor, as well as his brother Balder, have been resurrected, but in normal mortal bodies. They have to use technology to recreate their powers, which ties into a lot of the storylines from the Ultimates runs from years ago, where nobody was quite sure if Thor really was the Norse god of thunder or just some nutcase with a big fancy hammer. And, well, alright, let's just say he's a little bit of both in this case. We get a lot more of the introspection of the character and why he initially turned down Nick Fury's offer to be part of the Ultimates, and what happened with him so that he finally changed his mind to join the team. A lot of really great stuff that fills in gaps in stories from 9 years ago. If this had been published, say, 6 or 7 years ago, it would have been great answering all these little questions we've had about the character since he was introduced. Unfortunately, the character that they have now established for Thor has changed so much in the intervening time. Honestly, this origin story is kind of meaningless right now. Again, very well written issue. Loved the miniseries. Just small little issues prevent it from being great. So we had 3 issues here that on their own were very, very good. Just each one had a small flaw holding it back, honestly mostly all publishing decisions, that prevented any one of them from being the comic of the week. That said, I really recommend all 3. They were great reads, and hopefully we'll have a proper comic of the week for next week. But then again, these grab bags are also kind of fun as well. I'm sure we'll have a few more of these going forward over the coming weeks, months, maybe even years, you never know. Until then, be sure to check out MassiveNerd.net for more comics, games, who knows what else I got coming up on that site. All kinds of fun's happening. And I will see you next week.